Welcome to Red Eye. Hello, everyone. I am Tom Shillue. Let's check in with TV's Andy Levy at the Red Eye Tease Deck. Andy?
Thanks, Tom. Coming up on the big show, La La Land breaks the record for most Golden Globe wins. Thankfully, we have Meryl Streep's speech to talk about instead of that grossly overrated movie. Plus, the iPhone turns 10 years old. That's right, it's now older than most of the children that are forced to make it. And finally, GQ says man bangs are making a comeback. We'll make the two bald guys on the panel feel bad. Straight ahead. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Andy. Let's welcome our guests. Roll out the red carpet. The stars have arrived. Entertainment correspondent Jill Dobson. Don't be fooled by the middle initial. He's not that important. Comedian Louis J. Gomez. When he speaks, people listen, mainly because they think he's about to reveal his evil plan. National Review staff writer Charles Cooke. And I forced him to make my furniture. Sitting right next to me, comedian and author Paul Oddo. Okay, let's start the show. In her speech accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Golden Globes, Meryl Streep angered a large group of people. MMA fans. And only MMA fans.
Hollywood is crawling with outsiders and foreigners. And if we kick them all out, you'll have nothing to watch but football and mixed martial arts.
She didn't mention him by name, but I strongly believe that Donald Trump was the target of her speech Sunday night. Here's more of the Hillary supporter.
There was one performance this year that stunned me. It made its intended audience laugh and show their teeth. It was that moment when the person asking to sit in the most respected seat in our country imitated a disabled reporter, someone he outranked in privilege, power, and the capacity to fight back.
Red Eye regular Meghan McCain dared to criticize Streep, tweeting that her speech is why Trump won. And if people in Hollywood don't start recognizing why and how, you will help him get reelected. Comedian Billy Eichner responded, she asked him not to make fun of disabled people and advocated for the freedom of the press and the arts, you effing moron. Okay, no need to shout. McCain retorted, calling Republicans like me effing morons is a great way for Hollywood to bridge the cultural divide. Enjoy your bubble. I guess Twitter is now a place for political fights. Charles, first, what did you think of Meryl Streep's speech? They certainly loved it in Hollywood.
So I don't mind if she wants to have a go at the president, although she was over the top and preaching to the choir, and I don't think it was brave, which is a word I keep seeing.
Yes.
About as brave as me saying to the NRA, I think we should have fewer gun restrictions, given the audience. But she did sort of betray her underlying instincts when she had a go at football and MMA, really for two reasons. Firstly, it had nothing to do with her criticism of Trump. And secondly, football and MMA are both pretty diverse. I'm not sure quite how that fitted in to the idea that there's some...
You're right. I didn't even think of that. I was thinking of the audience that watches it, but
actually that's fairly diverse too. I mean,
it is, yeah.
The Super Bowl is the one thing America watches collectively. In 1960, it used to be the case, because there were 3 channels, that everyone watched the same shows in the evening. They don't now, except for the Super Bowl. And it's not just white people who watch the Super Bowl. Everyone watches the Super Bowl, far more than watch the Golden Globes. But it's played by a diverse group of people, and MMA is even more diverse. It was a really weird cultural slam that undermined her point.
Interesting. Paul, I think Meryl Streep was fantastic, a great actress. This was about her whole body of work, and yet she spent it talking about Trump. To me, that's, isn't she, even if you're a very liberal Hollywood elite type person, she's kind of walking into the Trump trap, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. You never know what these folks are going to say when you put a camera on them and just say, go, talk about whatever you want to talk about. There should be some points. Like, just say thank you. Get on out.
Yeah.
Don't try not to talk about things you don't understand. I mean, being the sports thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got every right to say whatever she feels about, people being mistreated and all that.
Right.
And foreigners and Hollywood and all that stuff. But yeah, that was a weird aside. I agree. Just like, why would you? I just feel like those are two things she's like walked past bars she would never go into and saw them watching that, and they're like, ew.
Yeah.
They should be showing Bridges of Madison County over and over again.
Hey, that goes over big in bars, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it causes less fights, I think.
Louis J. Gomez, is it an art? mixed martial arts? She said it was not an art. She was poking fun of that.
The third word is art. So I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist, but I'll tell you right now, if it's in the title, I think it's an art. Yeah, look, I think it's very disrespectful to, the people that, have been, doing martial arts for their entire lives. And I'll be honest with you, and I think anybody will agree with me. I've taken an acting class, and I've taken a mixed martial arts class. People in acting classes are idiots. Every time. Name one smart actor you've ever met in your entire life. Whereas most martial artists that I know that spend their time doing martial arts are very dedicated people that have a good head on their shoulders. I think that she really missed the mark there. I don't think mixed martial artists are the people that she's trying to portray.
Speaking of which, I want to show the response of UFC President Dana White. Take a look.
It's not going to be everybody's thing. And the last thing in the world I expect is an uppity 80-year-old lady to be in our demographic and love mixed martial arts.
Oh, is it an art?
Oh, of course it's an art. I mean, these fighters, the men and women, are so talented that, they train their whole lives to become the best in the world.
So, it's an art. It's an art.
Yeah.
She's not 80, I don't think.
Pretty well said. Yeah, pretty well said from his toilet there.
Where was
I think someone
he?
was questioning him.
Yeah.
He wasn't even alone doing a
what the hell
selfie
was
on the
that?
toilet.
Well, he's busy. He's got to multitask.
Sure.
He is
Why do
a
we care
guy.
what actors think? They're actors.
Yes.
I mean, why am I getting my opinions on politics from actors? She plays dress up and plays house, and they put a camera on her, and I'm supposed to pretend that her opinion on anything in the world means more than anybody else's? It's craziness.
Well, Jill, I mean, you're an entertainment reporter. This goes on all the time. Every award show, you have some people getting political and some people not. Is it a problem?
You do. Well, it is. They want to get ratings for the upcoming Oscars, and
Yeah.
I think they, on the one hand, this rated well. On the other hand, did it rate well because of this, or were people already tuned in at this moment? They wanted to see Jimmy Fallon. It was in a good time slot. I think a lot of viewers at home are tuning in because they love movies, they love actors, they want to see the beautiful dresses, and they don't necessarily want to hear the political speeches. So I think a lot of people were turned off by it. She made some great points that I think everyone has to agree with. She said disrespect invites disrespect, violence incites violence. I think she also said she feels like people are going after Hollywood, going after foreigners, and going after the press. And a group that protects freedom of the press has raised $60,000 as of this afternoon just because of people who heard her speech and called in to donate.
Who are these people? The Hollywood Foreign Press? What are they?
I know, it's a group that has always gotten kind of poked fun at gently. It's a group of reporters that are in Hollywood covering entertainment, but they're from other countries.
They're foreigners.
They are foreigners.
Get them out of our
Covering
country.
Hollywood.
We need to build a wall, have the Hollywood Foreign Press pay for it. That's what I say.
Well, I think they're here. They're here working. They're doing their job, but they certainly.
They do it for 1/10 of the price of the American press.
They've been around a long time. Okay, everyone was talking about Streep's speech on Monday, of course. Hardball host Chris Matthews interviewed Streep's pal Barbara Streisand by phone. Have a listen.
Little girls were heartbroken when Hillary didn't get to be president. So I think it's what they see. Children will listen. I sang that in a song once, and they will see and they will learn. And I'm in the middle of having my teeth cleaned.
What?
Was that a real thing?
Apparently, Chris Matthews goes a long way for the story. He calls him when you're in the dentist chair.
It's like, this might be a bad time. But can you get on the phone or FaceTime with me while you're on the toilet or getting your teeth cleaned?
Although, listen, Charles, I think she's, she does pretty well to enunciate like that when she's got the spit thing in her mouth.
She certainly did. She made up for it with her total incoherence, of course. That was amazing language. Gets to be president.
Oh God! Yeah.
You see the privilege there.
Yes.
As Meryl Streep would say, the privilege inherent in that sentence. Gets to be president.
She said they were upset when Hillary didn't get to be president.
Right, as if it was her birthright, which we've now learned it was not.
It was not. Okay, every month the BBC radio program My Perfect Country discusses ways to design the perfect country. And big surprise, their perfect country has 0 guns. The show recently highlighted Japan's strict gun laws and low rate of gun violence as proof that guns have no place in society. You see, in Japan, if you want to buy used underwear, you go to the vending machine. But if you want to get a gun, you have to pass a written test, shooting range test, mental health and drug tests, a background test. Finish 5-star difficulty, Sudoku, and collect all 151 Pokemon. Plus, you can only get a rifle or a shotgun because handguns are completely outlawed. Not even the police are allowed to pack heat. One journalist says, what most Japanese police do is get huge futons and essentially roll up a person who's being violent or drunk into a little burrito and carry them back to the station to calm them down. That doesn't sound like the ideal place to live to me. Luckily for me, they've already designed the perfect country. It's a little place called the USA. Charles, I wanted to go to you on this here about the guns. I mean, any arguments in this piece that struck you as being sound?
No, I was very annoyed by this piece, and I read it long before it was going to come up on this show.
Really?
And was irritated. I was irritated by it because the U.S. crime statistic that they cite is 2/3 suicide. Now, suicides are, of course, a big problem and a real tragedy, but it's not crime in the traditional sense. So they put suicide within the crime statistic for the U.S. Then they compare it to the Japanese crime statistics, which they don't include suicides in. So firstly, that's incredibly dishonest because they're pretending that suicide is crime. Secondly, Japan has twice the suicide rate of the United States, which they never acknowledge. So even though there are basically no guns in Japan, it still has 2 times as many people killing themselves. And I think that essentially devastates the piece and its premise, which is that because there are no guns in Japan, it's far more peaceful. It's not. It's actually a lot less peaceful. There are more people who are dying. They're doing so by their own hand. They're just not doing it with guns.
Wow. What are you going to say to that, Paul?
I thought suicide was a crime. Isn't it?
Suicide, it is a crime.
Arrest you if you try to kill yourself.
No, they won't.
They won't? It's not a crime?
No. It's
How are they doing it, Charles, over there? How are they killing themselves? Are they stabbing themselves?
There's lots of horrible
Weird
ways they
Like
do it.
carry, right?
Yeah, and a lot of people jump out of apartment buildings and so forth. But the point is that it is unfortunately the case that many people in America who kill themselves choose to do so with firearms. But it's not the case that when you remove firearms from a society, it gets rid of suicide. People choose other ways. And in Japan, they do so at twice the rate Americans do. So the way the piece was constructed was extraordinarily dishonest.
There it is. What do you say, Louis J. Gomez?
I mean, look, here's the thing. I mean, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. I like this rolling people up in a burrito. For me, I mean, that's the way to do it. That's the way you honestly, you can use any sort of Mexican food type of arrests would be really fun for me.
Yeah, like a gordita.
Yeah,
Fine
or you could take like sex offenders and put them in piñatas and have their victims beat them out of the piñata so they get retribution and candy at the same time.
Yeah. This is.
I might run for president one day.
Look,
I think obviously get elected, it seems.
Jill, the Japanese do some things right and other things not so.
Are the police officers carrying around giant futons at all times on their person?
That's why
I think
they
it's
the
can't
way
have
our
guns.
like a nightstick, they just have a rolled up futon.
I thought of it like a sushi mat, very portable and light.
Racist.
Well, what do they do? They're rolling people up. I mean, Jill, what do you think of a society without guns?
If no one had guns, wouldn't that be great, right? The problem in our society is that the bad guys have them, so then we have to deal with the problem of, do we allow the good guys to have them too or not? And that's what the
Also, the
crux of
government
problem
has
is.
them.
Yeah, but isn't that like saying all things? You say, oh, wouldn't it be great if the world didn't have bombs? Well, the world has bombs, right? You can't.
Isn't that the question you asked me?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if we're not going to get there, then I know you got to have guns, right, Paul?
I mean, if there already are guns, that's the whole thing. We don't have a time machine. We can't go back and take them away. So
Well, you
gotta
don't.
deal with. If you have one, you've been holding out on me.
Shaped like a giant futon.
Yeah, really. Why did they call it a burrito?
It's a burrito type structure.
But you're right. Sushi roll would fit
Sushi
better
roll makes a lot
in
more
this
sense.
discussion. But anyway,
They're not children, okay?
Good for them for just beating the hell out of people and wrapping them up and stuff. Whatever happened to us, cops don't just. They're too quick to shoot. I agree. Why don't they just teach them how to beat the hell out of people?
I do like the rolling up thing. It works for babies. You wrap them up snug and they go right to sleep.
yeah.
And I think if I was
Swallow
wrapped
them.
up, I'd stop fighting as well. Okay, moving on. The New Orleans Pelicans. They're an NBA team, Jill.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, did you not know?
No, we don't.
They have a mascot
Is
that
this
not
a
everyone
joke?
loves. His name is King Cake Baby, and he's a little polarizing. I don't really see why.
Terrifying.
Last Friday, as part of a promotion with
looks
Uber,
like Tom.
and maybe that's why I like him. The promotion was with Uber and a local bakery. King Cake Baby delivered cakes and free Pelicans tickets to fans.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
That is so
This is going to end in a gun
So
show.
glad we own guns.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Jazz. They're the Pelicans?
Well, happy carnival. Thank you.
What were they? Still
Yeah, this takes the cake.
2 years ago.
Excellent.
Excellent indeed. Here's another fan greeting KCB. Paul, I don't know what the problem is. I like babies. I like cakes. I like kings.
I like Pelicans.
Do you like that nightmare fuel showing up at your front door?
Seemed cute to me, like a baby. What is the problem? It looks like a baby to me.
No, it
right?
doesn't.
It doesn't?
It doesn't. It looks like something out of your worst dream.
Look, it looks just like a baby, but he's bigger. Is that the problem you have with it?
One of them. It's one of the problems I have with that. I would put an axe in that thing. If it was walking up my front door.
I don't.
They should have, to catch a predator, they should have him show up instead of cops.
Yeah. That
He
looks
just comes out and chases the pedophiles down the street.
Jesus. Doing
I
that.
think the paedophile would be chasing him.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. They
Yes.
chase each other.
And the question is, who would swaddle whom? Like, do you swaddle the criminal or do you swaddle the baby? I don't know.
Yeah.
Go either way.
Jill,
Yes.
do you find this creepy? I think he's
Incredibly
pleasant.
creepy.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah.
It's the face, because the face doesn't
You
move.
stand alone on this one, Tom. We're completely creeped
He looks
out by
happy to me.
this
He looks
thing.
like a kid who's having joy, like a kid at a birthday
Like
party.
a kid being electrocuted.
Yeah. Doing that, showing up at people's door like that, looks like something they would have made Bruce Willis do in the last Die Hard movie. Like, you got to do this or we're going to blow up the town. And show up at people's door.
Charles,
it's horrible.
it's a good promotion, isn't it? No?
Apparently not, given we're talking about it on national television.
It's working.
Wow, it's not. We're not exactly on board, though, are we?
They need promotion. They were you asked about the Pelicans. They were well, Andy will tell us what they were. They just
It's like
changed their names a couple of
it's
years
like
ago.
saying-
Hornets. They were the Hornets.
Did they not have a bird outfit?
They were.
I could give this guy?
Allison,
Oh,
don't
I
shake
get
your
it.
head.
He's a baby
They
because
were
the
the New
pelican
Orleans
brings
Hornets.
it.
No, it's
No,
a
it's a
stork.
stork.
But even still, that
Oh,
wouldn't
why
make
is
any
it a
sense.
baby?
The pelicans bring the really fat babies because they have the much greater capacity in the
Yeah.
beak.
Okay, so is that what that is?
This guy showed up in a
Because
pterodactyl.
a big pelican would be frightening to people. Okay, coming up.
Yeah, that's
The iPhone turns 10. We'll throw it a birthday party after the break. It's hard to believe that it was 10 years ago that Steve Jobs revealed his 3 revolutionary new high-tech devices.
An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone.
It would be a decade before the nerds in that room were that excited again.
Shillue, we're home.
But the iPhone did change lives. Nowadays, if you want to share a sunset with your loved one, you just snap a picture and send. But remember what it used to take?
I've never seen a painting that captures the beauty of the ocean at a moment like this.
That was almost just as good. The iPhone revolutionized romance, too. Mashable notes. Without the iPhone, there would be no swipe, and hence no Tinder. Also, research has shown that because of the iPhone, dating online has lost its stigma. Among millennials, dating via mobile phone is now the norm. Amazing to think that 10 short years ago, this was the only way to meet that special someone.
Hi, I'm Maurice. I'm an executive by day and a wild man by night.
Hi, my name's Monroe. You've probably already noticed that I have incredibly blue eyes.
Ugh. Sorry.
You didn't even know you were making that noise,
I did
did
not know
you,
that
Jill?
we were on television for a minute there. Sorry, Maurice.
You didn't notice his baby blue eyes?
Ugh, I didn't need him to
I
point him out to
don't
me.
think he had blue eyes.
I
look
couldn't.
brown.
They did look brown, but that's the special thing about him.
VHS.
The closer you get.
You could get away with it then. It was before 4K.
Exactly. Do you remember, Charles, what the life was like before the iPhone?
Yeah, it was both worse and better. I love my iPhone. I'm hooked on my iPhone. I carry it everywhere. I probably wouldn't have my job without my iPhone because I'm the editor of a website, but it has ruined things in the sense that people can constantly contact you. You know everything all the time, even when you don't want to. There's no downtime at all. And you're not surprised by anything. I mean, if you visit a foreign country, if you visit a new place in America, which for me is almost everywhere, you know, I quickly look at Google Images, I see what it looks like before I get there, and then I drive in and go, oh, I'm at the right place. Whereas beforehand, you would drive in and think, my God, the Grand Canyon, how amazing. So it has ruined life in some ways. At the same time, living abroad as an immigrant, it's pretty great to be able to talk to my family constantly. It's a mixed blessing.
That's it. It is. Well, Paul, what do you think? It's great to have the GPS, the location. You can find anything, anytime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is good until battery dies and then you're just a dummy. You don't know anybody's phone number. You know, I know my number and my parents' home phone number. Aside from that, I know no one's number. That's a weird thing about stuff like this. These are what do they call them?
Crutch.
Well, yeah, there's that, but it's like a cultural artifact that like makes you dumber if you take it away.
Yes.
Like so if I were to give you a map and you learned how to use the map, you're better at getting around. But if I give you this, like you're actually stupider having had it when I take it away. So it's a good thing. I mean, I use it constantly like a little drug, but I mean, none of us know how to make any of the stuff that we look up. I mean, I don't know how to make a battery, you know how to make an iPhone or anything. If these just break, we're kind of screwed.
Yeah, you can't, you're screwed. Jill, you really were grossed out by those guys. Do you remember? Look, I got a couple more profiles I want to show you. Maybe we can warm you to these guys.
Oh, please.
Hi, I'm Fred. Hi, my name's Mike, and if you're sitting there watching this tape smoking your cigarette, well, hit the fast forward button, because I don't smoke and I don't like people who do smoke.
I'm not afraid to get sand on my tuxedo if you're not afraid to let the wind mess your hair up a little bit when I take the top down.
Perhaps even a nice bath with some champagne and candles.
That sweetens the deal.
Cutting at me when I don't even know I'm on camera. That's true. That's real disgust. I'm not doing it for the camera.
Which one was the worst?
Well, I think the guy with the sand and the tuxedo, that's kind of nice.
I don't smoke and I never have, but I was actually offended that the guy was telling me not to smoke. And
I know.
Like he's trying to lure me in and he's already telling me how to live my life.
Yeah. I still did a press fast forward, Jill, because he's not interested. Well, what do you think, Louis J. Gomez? We're talking about the iPhone. I think it's great, and I like finding things. I'm not sure I like people finding me, though, because you have to keep your locations on.
Yeah, we used to be so worried about Big Brother, and then all of a sudden we're checking in everywhere on Facebook, and we want to let everyone know where we're at, what we're doing, when we're doing it. You know, listen to me, I have a lot of enemies, okay?
You do?
I'm going to be killed by one of them one day. And it's not even going to be, look around right now, guys.
Windows
They're probably
all around.
looking in the windows as we speak. And I'm going to let them know where to find me. It's a different world out there. But yeah, it was a different time. You know, even like now, look at Jill. We're on TV. She's got her iPhone on the table. It's on the table on television right now.
I might have something more important I need to focus on. You know.
She's swiping right and left.
I have mine too. You're not alone.
I think you've got to get those burner phones, the flip phones, and you got to throw them in the trash, right?
Racist again. Wow, Tom. I didn't realize what we were
what you guys
doing
do.
here.
Throw the
Trump's
phone in the
America.
trash.
I get it. No. All right.
All right, coming up. Halftime with TV's Andy Levy. And be sure to check out the Red Eye Podcast, available now. Subscribe on iTunes and at foxnewsradio.com. Welcome back. Time to find out what we got wrong and what we missed from TV's Andy Levy over in the Red Eye News Deck. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good.
Hey, how was Fox and Friends Monday morning, I guess it was?
Oh, wow. Get up early and,
It go well?
It's great. Yeah, it went great.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're
They liked you?
fantastic. They love me. We had a good time.
You sure?
Yeah.
Can we roll that tape?
Oh, boy.
Tom Shillue, the guy from Red Eye. What'd you make of Meryl Streep last night?
Wow, football and MMA. What are they going to go after next? Hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet? I don't remember it going like that, Andy.
That was the actual tape, undoctored.
I thought it felt like I think they were laughing on the inside. I think they were.
I don't know. Saw a lot of tweets about that long silence.
I think it's a different pacing in the morning.
You think that's it?
Yeah.
You think maybe Ducey just got that joke now?
I think so, maybe.
Yeah, he's laughing now.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep. First of all, Tom, you read Billy Eichner's tweet, and then you said, okay, there's no need to shout.
Yeah.
You can't tell Billy Eichner not to shout.
Well,
that's what he does.
Yeah. Well, maybe not on Twitter.
All right. It's kind of a shtick. Charles, I agree with you completely that bringing up football and MMA betrayed her. It also seemed a little weird to go after football and MMA fans after berating Trump for going after someone he outranked and outprivileged. Like she was doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, this is a tendency I noticed after Brexit, where the next day everyone that I know was saying things like, I just want to live in a tolerant, diverse, inclusive country where people are free to say what they think, and it's being ruined by those in the north of England who are bigoted, ignorant idiots.
Yeah.
Everyone took that line.
Yeah, pretty much. I do think, though, Charles, this is like this whole thing. We have this cultural outrage complex now in this country where someone says something on one side, then people on the other side go nuts over that person saying it, then people on the other side go nuts over the other side saying something about it, and it just, everything feeds off each other, and then at the end of the day, we all get paid.
Right. I'm pretty angry you said that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's completely right. I don't care that Meryl Streep said what she said. Right. I like Meryl Streep. I like her as an actress. I just think that she can't claim that she was merely calling for respect when she slammed MMA and football. It was such an odd digression.
Yeah. Also, she sort of played the victim, which was a little weird for someone in her position.
Right.
Lewis, you said of mixed martial arts that the third word is arts, and you're not a scientist, but if arts is in the name, it's an art. Well, first of all, we booked you because you said you were a scientist.
Yes. Oh, listen to me. This is the probably the last time you will ever trust a Puerto Rican, and I'm okay with that.
All right. What am I, Tom now? Tom, you said you don't think Streep is 80, as Dana White said she is.
Yeah.
She is 67, I believe.
67, okay.
Yeah. Jill, you said this Golden Globes rated well. You know what rated better?
Football and MMA.
The Giants-Packers football game.
See. There you go.
Yeah. Take that, Meryl Streep. By the way, Trump, who on Monday called Streep overrated in his tweet, he was asked in an August 2015 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, any actress you love? And his reply was, Julia Roberts is terrific, and many others. Meryl Streep is excellent. She's a fine person, too.
Oh. Wait, Donald Trump contradicted?
I don't believe it. How Japan has eradicated gun crime. Tom, did you say Sudoku?
No, I didn't. Did I?
I think you did. Yeah.
Sudoku.
There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think I said. I think I said Sudoku. Maybe I didn't, because I almost screwed it up just there saying it again.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, Andy.
Yeah. Charles, you're absolutely right about this article being dishonest. They say in 2014 there were just 6 gun deaths in Japan compared to 33,599 in the U.S. As you point out, without suicide, it was like 11 or 12,000 in the U.S., not 34,000. You're absolutely right about that. But you also said that Japan's suicide rate was twice that of America's, which is not true anymore. According to the BBC, please note that I used a British source in your honor. In 2012, America's suicide rate was 12.1 per 100,000, while Japan's was 18.5, so not twice.
Okay. Correct. I stand corrected. It was 1.5 times, which is still higher.
Absolutely. It used to be much higher in Japan. The suicide rate over the last 4 or 5 years in Japan has been plummeting.
Oh, that's good.
Yep. Paul, suicide is not illegal in America or in Japan.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
That's good. You should be able to do whatever you want.
Yep. There was this line in that article, though, they say, where to underline the taboo attached to inappropriate use of weapons, an officer who used his gun to kill himself, this is in Japan, was charged posthumously with a criminal offense for using the gun.
I read that, yeah.
That's literally insane.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Jill, you said if no one had guns, things would be great. Well, they'd be great for the government.
I just mean the idea if there were no guns, none. If no guns existed anywhere, then we wouldn't have a gun problem.
No, you just
guns
be beaten
exist,
to death. With
so
bricks.
therefore
swords, flamethrowers.
The NRA people are going to come after me. I'm just saying, if no guns existed ever, we wouldn't have any
this
gun
is a
problems.
John Lennon song, isn't it?
It's not that wacky.
They're destroying each other with grenade launchers in Chicago.
Pretty much, yeah. Paul, regarding time machines, it is possible Charles has a TARDIS. We don't know. It's a Doctor Who joke.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Oh.
Andy, do you want to borrow it and go back a minute?
Try it again.
No, not at all. No, I stand by it.
Can we give Andy a halftime report on his halftime report?
You can, absolutely. Please, Lewis, go.
No, please, don't put me on the spot. I'm not good at improv.
Yeah, suddenly, not so easy when you actually have to do it. Creepy king cake baby mascot. Paul, I would like to associate myself with everything you said in this segment, including that if you saw this thing coming to your door, you'd put an axe in it.
Yeah. Who could possibly argue with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Even the person in the suit, be like, I deserve to die if I show up at your house like
if they released that thing in Japan, everyone in that country would own a gun.
That guy would be wrapped up in the biggest futon they've ever seen. Banging on his head.
Yep. Tom, the Pelicans were indeed the Hornets. First they were the Charlotte Hornets, then they moved to New Orleans, and they were the New Orleans Hornets, then they changed the name to Pelicans.
Never the Jazz.
Well, meanwhile, Charlotte, after the Hornets moved, Charlotte got a new team called the Bobcats, but now that New Orleans changed their name from the Hornets to the Pelicans, Charlotte's taken the Hornets back. And none of this clears up the fact that there are the Utah Jazz. No. Who used to be the New Orleans Jazz, where it actually made sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank
you're right
you.
about
See, I was just going way back.
Yeah.
Way back. I was showing my deep knowledge.
Yeah, no,
of the
you were
sport.
absolutely right. Yep.
Thank you. Of course I was. I know everything about the NBA.
Yeah. The iPhone turns 10. Lewis, why do you have a lot of enemies?
You know what, guys? When you're a real ass dude and you say real ass stuff, a lot of people will take issue with it.
All right. You're not going to stop keeping it real, though, are you?
No, never.
Okay, good. Just want to check. Paul, you said thanks to the iPhone, you only know your number and your parents' home phone number. I don't even know my number half the time. I've had to look it up.
Yeah, you gotta like write it on the back of your phone. Like
or look in it's in my phone's address book under me or whatever. I've actually had to look it up.
Yeah, we're a bunch of dummies.
We really are. I am done.
Thank you, Andy. Yep. Coming up, are man bangs coming back? I say it's about time. And speaking of man bangs, man bangs are back. Yes, GQ magazine says the forehead obscuring haircuts are not just for ladies anymore. In 2009, as I'm sure you remember, man bangs had a moment. Thanks to Hollywood hunks Chase Crawford and Zac Efron. Now Justin Bieber and Jared Leto are leading the resurgence. Also joining the fun, style icon and Raiders owner Mark Davis. But no one rocked man bangs better than these guys. Yeah, love the Sex Pistols. Okay, what do you think? Jill, first of all, do you think bangs look good on men? And have you ever tried bangs yourself?
Oh yeah, I've had bangs. I had the straight down.
You did? Oh, look,
like
look at that. Yeah.
Wait, whoa, guys, that is.
Wait, that's not.
That is Photoshop.
We found that on the internet. Good.
Come on, guys.
You just gotta search
It's
Jill Dobson
horrible.
bang. Okay.
I wouldn't have the ones that you blink into.
I wouldn't search
that
that.
move every
I
time you
wouldn't search
blink.
that.
Yeah.
It's a good picture.
You got to keep them nice and short.
I think you're going to report on
who
the
has
Oh,
the
yeah.
nice short ones there?
I know what you mean. I like the short. I like that look. Yeah.
The Betty Page.
Yeah, but what about men? Any men look good in bangs?
You know, I was gonna say no till you showed Zac Efron and Chase Crawford. They were rocking it. They made it work.
Okay.
I think
McCartney. Back in the day.
Yeah, I think
Beatles.
it's like a Southern guy thing or a Beatle.
Beatles worked,
Certain
right?
guys can do it.
Louis J.
Right.
Gomez, you ever rock the bangs?
No, I can't. My hair has been gone for a very long time, guys.
That's
That's not
good.
happening.
Oh,
Yeah,
look, there we go.
there's.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was college. You didn't say years ago.
I see, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the bang look.
Good luck.
It's a little bit strange. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, I don't have hair. I'm jealous of anybody with any type of hair. So.
Did you have, with the bangs here, you look a little like, who's that guy? Ashton Kutcher.
A little bit.
A little bit. Look at him.
I've been told that.
Like Ashton.
You use the correct pronunciation.
That's perfect.
Paul,
Yes.
what do you think of bangs? I bet you had them at one point in your life.
I think there's a picture of me in the Boy Scouts where I have a blonde bowl
There you
cut.
are.
Oh, there's no. I think
look at
the
that.
first time you did our show, you might have been rocking the
Looks
bangs.
like my
You've got
head's
kind of upside
bleeding.
down bangs now.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm pouring fire out of my scalp. No, I'm. These are the types of things. This and the man bun. It's like I'm glad I went bald, man. I don't have to make these mistakes. Yeah,
It's tough. It's choices you got to make.
no, it's great. It's the best. I
So
don't
another good
understand.
thing is to not go bald and choose not to do that.
But then you got to spend all that money on haircuts and
You can
hairdos
just
are for
not.
ladies.
You can just not do it.
Yeah,
It's like-
I'm with Paul on this. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's nothing, and Jill, back me up on this.
I
There's
got
nothing
your back.
sexy.
Whatever you say, I've got your back.
Good, I like
Say
it. Now
anything.
listen to me.
You're right. I do have
Mexicans, they need to go. Right, Jill?
Oh.
Anyway, no, I'm
You
sorry.
really tested me on that line. All about the Puerto Ricans.
No, but there's nothing sexy about a man who's doing his hair in the morning, spending more than a minute and a half on it. If you're with a man, you wake up, he's in the mirror in the bathroom doing his hair for more than a minute and a half, what do you do?
I don't want you to be prettier than me. I don't want you to be vainer than me. I don't want you to be thinner than me. None of those things.
Yeah.
No.
Charles, you got a kind of are these bangs that you rock yourself?
No.
Look at that picture. Was that photoshopped?
No, that's the real photo, actually. That's me in North
He's rocking
Carolina.
it. I like it.
Where did
it
you
looks
find
good
that?
there.
Was that
good? I had bangs. I used to rock bangs as a.
What is this word? We don't have this word in England.
Fringe.
Where is
You
it
say
from?
fringe, don't
Bangs.
you?
Where did that come from?
Bangs. I don't know. They're
I know
like.
I know, you're just saying it over and over.
Because it hangs.
They bangle
It's a haircut that
into your
hangs.
face.
What
I don't know.
It's a very
There's
weird
an
word.
origin, I'm sure, right?
Yeah, probably is.
Sure.
I don't know.
We need a Google.
I gotta go to the
this
tees.
show.
Coming up, this guy. Trust me, there's an even more amazing sweater pick after the break.
Wow.
Wow.
It's good to have hobbies like singing barbershop or collecting airplane sick bags. Anyway, I was intrigued to read about a man named Sam Barsky. He knits sweaters featuring landmarks he plans to visit. Here's Barsky in front of Stonehenge in his matching sweater. And at the Golden Gate Bridge. That's a nice one.
I like that one.
Barsky started the project in the year 2000, just seeking a challenge. His sweaters don't always feature landmarks. There, he's standing in front of power lines. Barsky says, quote, "To this day, I have pictures while wearing 91 of the 103 sweaters around the exact landmark or style of scenery or something quite similar." Barsky is just further proof that the internet loves a man in a nice sweater. Whatever happened to him? Remember him?
Yeah.
We love that guy in the sweater.
Yeah. What was his name?
Tom?
Ken Bone.
Tom?
Ken Bone, that's
Ken.
right. What do you think of this? This guy, he goes, he's seeing the world through his hobby.
Yeah, and he's not just a suicide statistic. You know.
I was going to say I wonder what his wife thinks of it, and then I thought better of it.
Yeah, she's gone.
What? No, I don't know if she ever was.
Yeah.
No,
Let's hope.
Charles, you're assuming that he's an unmarried man because that's why he's able to put so much time into his knitting.
And
Is that
money.
right?
I mean, if he's going to Stonehenge with custom-made sweaters,
Yeah.
he's got time and money that married men don't have.
I see, yeah.
If he's got that much time and money, he seems like a hot commodity.
He does, Jill.
So the
Good
the
for
guy
him.
who talked about smoking, he's
Turn
out.
off.
But this guy,
big
wow.
turn on.
Wow.
Big turn on.
He's going to send you a
Call me,
letter tonight.
Barsky.
That's a great one, though. Look, he's by a waterfall, and he's got a waterfall sweater on. Here he is in Times Square,
peaceful.
and he's got.
He's close. You can meet up with him right now. Look where he is.
Yeah,
It's just
we
like
are
a couple of
steps away
blocks
from
away.
there right
I hope he knits himself a sweater of Syria or the Bermuda Triangle. That's how I hope the end of his story is.
What is a Bermuda Triangle?
You have
What does
so
it
many
look like?
enemies.
Yeah, I hope it's just him, just a gorilla cage. That's his sweater.
Lewis, this is a guy who, like you said, we have people fighting in the streets. Everything's the world's. This guy has passion. You
Yeah.
should be encouraging this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Look at him. What am I going to say? Sure, if this is his passion, God bless his soul. But I mean, he is an unfortunate-looking dude.
Oh, wow.
Yes. What am I supposed to
Bash
say?
him. Don't
You
bash
like him,
the
right, Jill?
Barsky. I love Barsky.
Do you
I'm
knit
his
to pass
biggest
the
fan.
time?
No, but if I had Barsky's skill, I would knit a picture
Well,
of
he'll
Tom
do it
Shillue's
for you.
face and take a picture next to
Someone's
Tom
going to knit a
Shillue.
Tom Shillue sweater. Very special thanks to Jill Dobson, Louis J. Gomez, Charles Cooke, and Paul Oddo. That does it for me, Tom Shillue, of course. I'll see you next time.